And I'll give you an example. So I'm sparring with Alex in Connecticut, and we're having a fucking war, dude. We're doing 3 hard rounds, and I somehow managed not to get hit with any big shots. And I like walking away real, like, I'm dead tired. I'm walking away really good. And they bring in this pretty high-level wrestler, and this guy is just fucking mauling Alex on round 4. Mind you, this guy's fresh. Me and Alex just had a 3-round fucking war, and this man is just mauling Alex, throwing overhands, has him in his cage. And about like halfway through the round, Alex just like touches him with an uppercut, and the round's done. And then Alex just like, I mean, he could have fucking blew on him and knocked him over. And just like that kind of power, it just, I mean, you got to be like, what, a 6'4" giant fucking Brazilian, I guess.
Yeah. What I know Ankle I've spent a lot of time in here over the years. Like, what was kind of that situation like for you? Was it a bit awkward? Like, was Alex trying to pick your brain? Or?
No, I mean, I love working with Alex. Alex is one of those guys who were like, if you tell him any tad bit of advice, he absorbs it, he drills it, and no, Uncle Live, dude, like Uncle Live's my boy. And I think
the MMA world can hardly believe what's being said. Everyone already knows Alex Pereira is one of the most fearsome strikers on the planet, but the stories coming out of his training camps take that reputation to another level. Reports from sparring sessions tell of UFC veterans getting dropped and kickboxers refusing to face him again, painting a picture of a fighter who isn't just powerful, but genuinely intimidating.
Yeah. I mean, he's so scary looking.
I wasn't wrong about the aura, right? Like,
no, spot on.
I mean, you're a champion, right? There is a different aura to this man.
I remember the first time I met him. To this day, I don't remember a lot of times I meet somebody for the first time. That dude, I remember because he was my weight class and he was a monster. And we were in the same locker room for a fight. I'm like, I was a pretty big damn middleweight. People thought I was one of the biggest middleweights, that you could be. And I was like, how the hell does this guy make to 185? And I just watched him. His bones just looked different. His attitude was different. I'm like, man, this guy is definitely a problem.
Pulling out of the PI. Was excited when I pulled in because some guys were saying Alex Pereira was upstairs sparring. So wherever the world that mat space is, the training is the same. This was his belief. And I can just tell you that is what I saw. When I got there, the knowledge that was in that room, Glover Teixeira, who did everything. He was dripping in sweat. I mean, Glover is clearly the captain of that ship. But the knowledge they've got, Jean-Jay Ribeiro, just to name drop for you, these guys start going back and forth, and they start trading ideas and techniques. So after Pereira gets done with what I believe was 5 rounds, I believe he did all 25 minutes, but I will admit, I walked in a little bit late. So when they were done with that, though, they spent an hour just discussing ideas and fundamentals and positions. And to understand and appreciate, to the degree that I do, what those guys had to go through, what experiences they had to have that information that they were passing back and forth.
He doesn't react or rush. He just stares straight through you, reading every movement, waiting for the perfect moment to strike. Former teammates have described it as unsettling, like sparring with a predator who's tracking your every step. Even UFC champions admit that training with Pereira is one of the toughest experiences of their careers. Glover Teixeira, his longtime coach and training partner, has said that Pereira's discipline in sparring perfectly reflects the way he fights. Patient, calculated, and devastatingly precise. Joe Rogan has also praised Pereira's composure and accuracy, calling them some of the sharpest traits in all of mixed martial arts.
Eu treino todos os dias, 2 vezes por dia, em média de 2h30, 3 horas no máximo. Eu divido esses treinos em 2 partes. Todos os dias de manhã, 11 horas da manhã, eu faço a parte de luta. Sábado, eu faço um treino só. Faço um treino específico de grappling, começo da noite. Segunda, quarta e sexta, faço a preparação física, a musculação. Terça e quinta, eu faço as corridas, e essa é a minha semana. Eu descanso domingo, faz parte dos treinos também.
Poatan, he's a monster.
Yeah.
That guy's a monster. I was telling everybody about that guy when he was in Glory.
I remember.
When they were saying he was coming over to the UFC, I was like, I told DC, I go, dude, get ready for this motherfucker. Because this motherfucker puts people into orbit.
Brother.
He's got crazy power.
What happened to the good old day when the biggest star in the sport could go out there and underperform a little bit and the judges would give a screw job to the less popular guy? I could tell you plenty of times throughout history where Alex Pereira would still be wearing that belt, which is to beat the champion. You really got to beat the champion. Screwed the other guy to protect the champion. That's all that's ever meant. I'm not sure that the Alex Pereira that I saw isn't the greatest Alex Pereira I've ever seen. Alex is supposed to be somebody that you can go take down and beat up, particularly if you got a wrestling background, particularly if you got a wrestling background from Dagestan. That's the story. He never went down once. Is Uncle I of a man of his word? Does he get credit? Because his words were that I'm going to stand up and I'm going to kickbox with him. I'm going to beat him in the stand-up. That's exactly what he did. I, as a Pereira fan, what I want is Pereira at heavyweight. And if in a month from now we come out with a poster and it's Tom Aspinall versus Alex Pereira, I think you guys are pretty excited. That's my guess.
Fighters who've spent time training with Alex Pereira describe his power as something almost unreal. Even when he's only going light, they say his punches land like a swing from a baseball bat. One training partner reportedly suffered broken ribs from a body kick during what was meant to be a light technical session. Others say that Pereira's signature left hook, the same weapon that ended Israel Adesanya's night, feels like being hit by a speeding car. But what truly sets Pereira apart isn't just his raw power. It's his composure. No matter how fast or aggressive his opponents get, he never flinches. Always calm, always in control.
His time, precision, and the way, the ability to learn the ground is like, because I trained with kickboxers before the transition then I trained with jiu-jitsu champion before the transition to MMA. They both have a hard time to learn, all the jiu-jitsu guy have a hard time to learn the striking, but Alex is just fascinating me in the way he learned, the way he get it, and he's doing his own moves right now, and he goes on like, hey, look at this one, I trying to get out there. It's like he's showing different moves. They were like, yeah, man, that's cool, and it's amazing. I'm excited to see
we don't give Alex Pereira enough respect at how big he is. Right? I think the fact he fought against Izzy at 185 and now he's at 205 and he walks around 232, whatever it is. Sometimes I don't feel like he's a big dude, but obviously he has to be. Well, I mean, he is, but nobody can take him down, right? And I think I kind of take that away from him and not give him the flowers, I guess, of how big of a presence he has when he's fighting these guys, inside the octagon.
They fought on the same card, me and him. Never met him before, never. He was quite frosty when I met him. Definitely not a happy chappy, do you know what I mean? I spent a bit of time together. Obviously, there's a language barrier and stuff. He doesn't really speak English that I'm aware of, at least. We did the press conference. We sat next to each other. He was literally, I was here, he was there. Got off the press conference, and my dad said, oh, how was it? I said, do you know Alex Pereira? He said, yeah. I said, he thinks he can beat me, And my dad was like, what do you mean? I don't know, I can just tell. He wasn't posturing, he wasn't trying to intimidate me or nothing. I just felt like he had in his mind, maybe I'm just making it up, I have no idea, but I've never done it with anyone before, and I'm not like that insecure guy being like, he's trying to fight me. I'm not like that at all. When I heard that he wants to move up to heavyweight, I wasn't surprised. I felt like he was sizing me up a little bit. Saying that, mate, we were 2-3 days away from a fight. Maybe that's just the way he acts.
Joe Rogan once said, Pereira doesn't just throw punches, he aims straight through you. And that quote perfectly sums up the experience of training with him. Many sparring partners reportedly refuse to go more than a single round, and those who do walk away battered and humbled. At Teixeira MMA and Fitness, Pereira's sessions have built a reputation for being ruthless. There's no showboating, no playful sparring, just focused aggression and raw intensity. Fighters leave with bruised ribs, split lips, and a whole new respect for what Poatan brings inside the cage. Following his dominant knockout victory over Magomed Ankalaev, those old gym stories have resurfaced, reminding everyone that what fans see under the arena lights is only a fraction of the chaos Pereira unleashes behind closed doors. With rumors swirling about a potential move to heavyweight, some fighters are half joking and half serious when they say they want no part of that version of Alex Pereira. Daniel Cormier even compared these training tales to the early gym legends surrounding Mike Tyson, guys who didn't spar to practice, but to punish. As DC put it, you can hear the fear in people's voices when they talk about sparring Pereira. Now, with talk of Pereira possibly facing John Jones or Tom Aspinall, those stories carry even more weight. Because if he hits that hard in training, what happens when he steps into the octagon against the biggest men in the UFC? Every fighter who's shared rounds with him says the same thing. Pereira doesn't spar to test himself. He spars to sharpen his killer instinct. He's not just preparing for fights, he's preparing to finish them. And if even half of these stories are true, the heavyweight division might be in serious trouble.